Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to KFL Tonight. What an eventful day. What an eventful day. What an eventful day. Hey, everybody who's in there with me, man, check in on the comments. Let me know who's in here. Tell me who's rocking with us so far. Man, I hope y'all caught the action today because it was a day. The opening day to Kayak Fishing League. And what a great way to open it with a nail biter of a matchup we had. We had nail biters, we had blowouts, we had it all. It was so much fun to do. Hopefully you watched it. Hopefully you tuned in. We had, I'm gonna bring my partner in crime in here right now, Mr. Greg Nosar.
What's up, man?
What's up, G-Man?
Man, dude, I'm telling you, listen, right? I didn't even fish today, and I'm just like emotionally whipped. I mean, these boys put on a show, dude.
Emotionally drained.
Man, dude, it was incredible. Listen, man, Robert, me and you talked about this whole concept a long time ago. And, we talked about what the KFL was and how we wanted to put these things in the team formats. And, we talked to some very predominant anglers in this in this field, and we kind of ran it by them, and a lot of them were like, man, this is going to be cool, but I don't know how you're going to pull this off. And we had no idea either. We ran it by the seat of our pants, but buddy, I'm telling you what, there's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes on every team that has put the sponsors and everybody together for them to do it, man. And I tell you what, I think all the hard work paid off today.
Yes, sir. Hey, before we really get into it, I'm gonna speak to everybody watching. Hey, we got Justin Faircloth watching, as well as everybody who's commenting. Comment where you're at, state where you're tuning in from. I think the last KFL Tonight, we had somebody tuning in from England.
It was Norway. We had Norway.
Norway. Yep, that was awesome.
Yep.
Charles Cruz, what's up, man? We got Juice World and Juice in the house. And everybody was excited about today, man. Everyone watched it, said it was awesome.
I had pictures and messages sent that people were watching their family members from California. I mean, there were some people watching it across the seas. I had some people that were showing me pictures of their grandkids watching. I mean, it was incredible, man. They were able to watch on Roku and Amazon, and they couldn't have been any happier, man. We did a lot of testing, a lot of work behind the scenes with, the Pride Outdoor Network. Man, it just paid off. And what the first matchup we're going to get to was worth it all. I mean, all the other guys and all the other fishermen, it was amazing all the way down the road, down the board, man. But man, this first matchup was unbelievable. I mean, I just loved talking to every one of these guys in the matchups. It was incredible, guys. I mean, I think everybody at the ramp had a different feeling this morning, and we're going to talk about all of them. I mean, like Carolina Casters and, the Tar Heel Lunkers and, the Warhawks and the Ambassadors and all these other guys, man. Wow, man, it was awesome matchups today. Awesome. The Lone Star Bandits.
Yes, sir. Before we even get into all that, man, I'm gonna give you guys just a couple stats that me and my publicly schooled brain were able to come up with. So there were 201 total fish caught today, sir. 201 total fish caught today.
Yeah.
From 48 anglers.
Right.
Wow. 64 anglers on the water, 48 anglers, 201 fish, which is awesome.
Yep.
We had 10 20-inch plus fish caught, 13 19-inch plus fish caught, and 28 18-inch plus fish caught. And 17-inch fish won it all. I didn't even feel like counting how many there were, but there were it was probably like double
the 17s.
Yeah. It is crazy, man. It is crazy because in the 20-inch class, the away teams caught more 20-inch plus class fish than the home teams.
Mm-hmm.
In the 19-inch class, the away team caught more of them, but the home team caught more 18-inch fish, and it just seemed the bigger fish were the key to the wins.
It's always the kickers, man. It's always the kickers. Let's do this, man. Let's get right into the board, man, shall we? Let's get right into this board, man. Let's get to the first matchup that we had. And I think we made KFL history today. I think we did. I mean, if I was to take a game and say, this is what I want the KFL to be, it was this one.
Yep. I tell you what, this is going to be a hard one to beat for the entire season. This is going to be a hard one to beat.
This was, I mean, what a debut. Massachusetts Maulers versus Rhode Island Rebels. Let's get these boys on, shall we? I mean, we need to talk to them like right now, right? Let's go ahead and get these guys on for sure.
Yes, so we got Derek Brundle with us.
What's happening?
What's happening, man? We got Mr. Conant. Both from the Maulers, and then we got Mr. Greg Kraz, man, he put in work today. Guys? And the man who almost stole the show, almost stole the show, Mr. Catucci, man.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Absolutely.
Did you guys just have the dog bark to give me a little PTSD from earlier today?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We rehearsed this.
Damn.
Hey, that dog was angry with you. He didn't want you catching his friends.
Yeah. Derek and I were talking about that on the way back to the ramp. He was barking at you, Derek, right? He's barking at me earlier when I caught the 16. It was brutal.
So, let's start with you, Mr. Brundle. We touched on it a little bit in the very beginning when you came on live this morning. Let's talk about the game plan that your team went into today's matchup with, and if you stuck to it and how it worked out.
Yeah, man. So we had, hatched our diabolical little plan to kind of divide and conquer. And, Matt and Ken, they knew where they wanted to be for the day. Joe knew where he wanted to be for the day, and I knew what I wanted to do for the day. So we kind of just split up the tasks and said, all right, Ken and Matt, go try and catch big ones. Joe was going to go catch big ones, and I was just going to put up numbers and try and keep the leaderboard pumping all day. So that was our plan, and, I mean, that's what we stuck to all day.
It seemed to have worked quite well, my friend.
So, Matt, how did that big fish pattern work out for you today? Did you lose someone? Did you lose any?
I didn't lose any big ones today, no.
No, but did the big girls play for you today?
Yeah, a couple of them came out to play.
How'd you catch those?
Caught the 23-quarter on a chatterbait and 93-quarter on a jig.
Oh, now you're talking my language, sir.
Yeah.
Now you're speaking my language. What kind of jigs you catch her on?
Beast Coast.
Beast Coast. Ooh, I might have to check those out.
All right, guys, let me ask you guys a question. Seriously, did the KFL earn its hype? I mean, all the hype that we've given this thing, did it meet your expectations?
I think it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we all talked at the ramp afterwards, you know what I mean? And everybody had pretty much the same reaction. Like, that was absolutely incredible.
So let me ask you this, just to piggyback on what G-Man said. How did this differ in feelings, not feelings, but the way it felt from you going out and fishing your own, in-person tournament, KBF or Hobie Trail, to KFL? How did this differ? The feeling, any emotions or anything that you went through?
Well, if you guys want to let me speak for a second, I'd say
yes, sir.
It was a new experience, having, team members to kind of pick you up when you're down, and that responsibility of kind of putting the team on your back and trying to make things happen at the last minute. I tried best I could. Unfortunately, a couple things didn't go my way, but that's how fishing is.
So, I kept on asking Derek on air. I'm like, look, man, are you comfortable with your lead? And he kept on saying, no way, man. I know who these guys are. I know, trash talking aside, it's like the trash talking was over. It was the respect factor when you guys were on the water. And then when the Maulers went out to a pretty big lead, and all of a sudden we started seeing throughout the day, after they caught their limit and they were kept in, they were incrementally upgrading, man, you guys just did not let them go, man. It was awesome. It was awesome seeing you guys continue to put up big fish after big fish. And then, man, I'll tell you what, John, John, your coach, was always on the chats going, Chris just caught a 20. Greg just caught a 19. We're coming. We're only like 5 inches out. We're 3 inches out. We're 1 inch out. I mean, it was insane.
I'm like, he was coming with it before we even hit the board. And I'm like, I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh. So let's fast forward. Okay. Let's fast forward to the end. Okay. Derek and Matt, it's the last 15 minutes, right? What is going through your heads?
That's a smile on his face.
That's a
right
good
there.
question.
The last hour, I kind of bailed out on the plan because me and Ken were kind of in a kind of a small area and we're doing laps and we're kind of beating up the same water back and forth. But so I pulled out of there and I'm like, man, these dudes are catching fish outside. I got to get over to the main lake, and it wasn't comfortable. I knew them dudes were in striking distance with only quarter. I saw they had like a 17 3/4 the upgrade, so I knew it was definitely one cast away from being possible. So
I mean, Matt, you put the heat on them when you caught. What was that you caught at the end there? Was it a 19?
18 1/4.
18 1/4 to give y'all what, a 3/4 inch lead?
Yeah.
No, an 1 1/4 lead, because at the time you only had an inch lead.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
then I'm riding back to the ramp, and I looked at 1 o'clock, like these dudes, these guys don't stick in bags. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's close. It was an awesome battle. And I think it was like 107, and I looked, I was steaming back to the ramp, and I looked again.
We had a huge controversy. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the footage. Here's the footage of it was about 12:50 to 55. We're gonna play this for you now. This is a heartbreaker.
It's been edited.
Yes! That's the one! Oh, no! Oh my God, you gotta be fucking kidding me!
Chris, talk about that, man. Talk about that, Tony.
All right, so
I can't even watch that.
I pretty much found out that the fish were relating to wood, yet I've only fished Snippatuit once. I didn't really know the layout because I only fished one half of it. So I didn't know that where I was fishing before there was 10 minutes left, I was about to roll on. Basically something, when my eyes saw it, they lit up. I mean, it was flooded wood. It was different than the,
that was a hell of a cast, by the way, underneath that tree, dude. From that distance,
I'm a
that was impressive.
Bro, I mean, I will cast with anyone in this country. I would challenge anyone.
See,
I am an absolute sniper.
That's Joe.
He ain't lying. We go out all the time. The kid can put, he can put it.
that was. I was like, did he just cast that freaking thing under the tree with a bait caster like that? That's pretty damn good.
Nah, man. And I mean, that's what you got to do if you want to get those bites that people can't access. And
for sure.
I mean, I had the feeling. I made 2 casts there. I had the feeling that it was protected because it was behind those rice paddies. Get out. It was behind those rice paddies, and I had to make the cast that was going to get the bite, but it somehow happened, and it came off. That's just part of fishing, though.
What happened on that next cast?
We're not done, guys. Here it is. Listen, this is like 12:59, right at the buzzer. You ready for this one? Holy moly! No one's seen this yet besides Chris. Watch this. This is right at the buzzer. Literally, this was the winner.
Oh, gotta take a picture.
One o'clock and 43 seconds is when that snap went off, and we couldn't accept it. That was the footage that would have won if that was 43 seconds earlier. Oh
Dude,
my
that's how
God,
you
Chris.
ball, though. That's how you go
Let-
out. Go
let
out.
me-
Holy crap, dude.
Let me say first
Unbelievable.
and foremost, Chris, beast move flipping that 4 to 5 pounder into the boat.
You know the
Beast-
deal, baby. I was
beast
not doing
move.
any other shit than that.
Beast move. There was no thought about it at all. Just really get him on the board. I was
I
like,
flipped
okay.
her, bounced off the helix, perfect rebound right into my balls. But hey, we got it.
What incredible footage, Chris. Dude, what incredible footage you got there, man. Like when I first saw that, my heart was racing. I was showing them the guys here, and they're like, oh my God, we've all been there. But not like that, dude. I mean, seriously, like I told you before I messaged you, I'm like, dude, if there's any teammate I would want to have on my team is that, man. Because, dude, that was passion, man. That was absolute, like, this freaking mattered, dude. Wow, dude. That was incredible.
Bro, your video might have just made our new intro video. I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, if that ain't gonna make it, I don't know what will.
There was so much drama in the whole thing. The breathing heavy, the fish not cooperating.
We might have to
Don't
edit
talk
those
about
leggings, though, dude. Might have to edit those leggings, man. That's just no go.
I need those for the sun. All right.
And so we give our other anglers time. We're not gonna spend too much time here, but I do want to talk to you real quick, Greg.
Yeah.
You had the second biggest bag of the day from the personal angler, man. Give us a little, just an insight on what you learned or how you put your pattern together. What was your pattern? And just it was a great day for you, man.
Yeah, 6 o'clock hit. So I guess let's rewind. I'll go real quick here to the point. I'm pre-fishing yesterday, and I was out there for 30 minutes. I had a frog with the hooks clipped off. I went to a section where actually Chris had fished a couple weeks before. He said that it was productive, so I went there and saw. I had like 7 or 8 bites, all quality bites with that hookless frog the night before. 30 minutes I spent there. I was done. I was ready to go. 6 o'clock rolled around in the morning, and it was raining and it was kind of windy. So I knew that the frog might not play as well. So I pulled out the buzzbait to start. And my first cast, buzzbait hit the water. I didn't even get to reel in yet, and I got smacked. So I knew I was in the right spot. I just kept throwing that buzzbait. I ended up getting a 16, a 19. Once the rain stopped and it was kind of a little drizzle, I pulled the frog out, and I continued to smack them. Really, both my 19s, I think, came on the buzzbait, but it was really top water all morning. And then when it stopped raining completely and they stopped hitting top water the whole time, I kind of blacked out. It seems like I pulled a jig master. I pulled out my flipping jig, and I honestly just went to flipping, and every single piece of wood that I threw at, I'd flip my jig in, and my line would just start running. And I reeled down, boom, set the hook, and there they were, 17 and a half, 18 and a half.
I helped out Greg with that too, because I caught a 20 and a half off a isolated piece of wood that I just saw one of the other anglers fish.
Yeah.
So it kind of like keyed us in. I told them, isolated wood near some bluegill beds. And that's the whole team aspect, though, helping each other out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it definitely is.
Well, guys, we're gonna move on, but dude, guys, one amazing game. I mean, to the end, and that footage, man, and then watching Derek kind of like, okay, is it over? What do you mean there's a What do you mean there's a controversy? You know what I mean? This is crazy, guys. Do you guys want to thank anybody? Derek, Conant, Greg, Chris.
No, hey, thanks to you guys. Thanks to Johnny D for putting this together. Thanks to you guys.
I thank the whole
Bowlers
team.
were a class act out there. It was a great time.
Yeah, I thank you guys for putting this together, and all my team members for, supporting me and giving me the drive to, put in that work the last 10 minutes, even though it didn't, end up with a win. I think overall we sent the message. We're not here to play around. We need to be taken seriously. So, yeah.
You sure did, bud.
Derek?
For sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely want to thank the Rebels for showing up and showing out. That was a battle to the end, and we wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I mean, unfortunately, Chris's fish didn't count at the end. But, man, what a way to kick off the season. What a way to get it going.
What a way, man. What a way.
I want to definitely thank these guys up here, Ray's Eyewear, KFL, Malone Auto Racks, X-Zone Lures, Thrasher Sports Apparel, and Fusa USA. I mean, this is something that I've been looking forward to getting going for the last year, and now it's here, and I can already tell I have another obsession, and it's bad.
It's sad, guys. Well, guys,
Mr. Conant, you got anything?
I just want to thank the Rebels for showing up, putting on a good show, and thank anybody that supports and follows the Maulers.
So unfortunately, I don't know the schedule by heart for every team. When is Mass Rebels round 2?
We fish in.
I guess the rivalry's real.
The 21st of August, I think.
21st of August.
Yeah, at Rhode Island.
I know.
Let's go.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to it.
Hey,
No
thank
doubt.
you guys for a great matchup today, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, boys. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Well, there they go, man. Wow, what a man. Incredible. Incredible matchup.
I don't even need to say anything.
Nope, nothing to say there. Let's go on to the next matchup, guys, and that was let me see here. We got sorry, guys. I'm trying to get to it. It was the Motor City Ambassadors versus the Washington Warhawks. These boys, Motor City from Detroit, came down to Washington, D.C. on the Potomac River, and they faced my guys, the Washington Warhawks, and it's the Motor City Ambassadors came out, and, man, they did work. Dude, they worked together so well as a team, 100%, and they beat the Warhawks 173 to 158. And guess what, my friends? I actually have them here right now, Mr. Matt Linsman and Jeff Fader. I'm going to let these guys, and you know what? You take over the interview. I don't deserve to even be in this chair right now, man.
I just want you to hear that I called this, by the way.
I hear you. Here you go.
Or prayed for it, whichever way you want to go for it. Called it, prayed for it, whatever.
Right there.
What's going on?
Mr. Linsman, what's going on, man?
We had to come down and put on a clinic.
I see. So you went from taking down the Jigmaster in the call-out weekend to taking down the Warhawks in the opening night or opening day of the KFL. You're on a roll, bro.
Hopefully we keep her going.
Yeah, hopefully you do. Hey, so tell me about what you think of the Potomac and that fish. That is a fishery, man.
You know, it's a lot like our fisheries up north, especially for the greenbacks, except for everything's on a time schedule.
Everything's on a time schedule. Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
you got your bite windows, and in between you're either searching or eating lunch. One of the two.
Yeah, so we talked to one of your teammates, Mr. I don't know if I'm probably going to butcher his name, but Mr. Zulair. Is that how you say it? How you say it?
Zach Solier.
Yeah, Zach Solier. I guess I took his first letter of his first name and made it into the first letter of his last name. He told us early that they were looking to you to put up the numbers because you were on fish. You know, I talked to Greg the day before, and he was the day before that, he was on fish, but then, you know, he didn't have a boat. So he gave that information to his team, but he said, hey, this is what he said to me. I don't know if he's told you. He said to me, he goes, but Matt's on fish too. And he was like, he told me he was going to have a limit by like 8:15, 8:30 in the morning. And I was like, woof. Hey, man, you know, in the Potomac, most of those fish, he told me he's going to have a limit. That's going to be a pretty good limit, 16, 17-inch fish. Just to start off by 8? What'd you catch them on, man? Tell us about it. Tell us your secret.
So
you know, I'm going to Potomac soon, so tell us your secret.
So I was pretty confident coming into this morning. I did not have a limit, a full 10 limit.
I saw that. But you had I think you had 5 by 8, though.
Oh yeah. It was a good morning. Definitely wasn't as good as pre-fishing, but we still stuck them. First cast of the day, I had the worst bird's nest I've ever had. I sat that rod in the back and said, okay, no more top water. So I went underground. We went with swim baits and creature baits all day and just work weeds.
Swim baits and creature baits, huh?
Yep.
Weighted swim baits, or you talking about, obviously, you probably had the weighted swim bait hooks, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And did you catch them on low or high tide, or was it stagnant or moving?
It was moving.
Moving?
Yep. Yep.
Hey, man, so great job taking down the Warhawks, man. I want to tell you, I called it. I definitely picked you guys to win. I did.
Well, that's a good choice.
Yeah, especially because you don't have to face me. So
right.
I can pick you guys to win.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, they have some absolute hammers on their team. The hospitality is absolutely amazing. I mean, they absolutely took care of us. We're going to return the favor up north when they come up, and we beat them up north. So
what'd you think of the first day? Was this everything you expected? Was it more than you expected? What'd you think of the opening day of KFL?
Actually, I thought it'd be a lot harder than what it was, honestly. But fishing's fishing. So sometimes you're on them, sometimes you're not. So.
Oh, you mean the fishing? You thought the fishing would be a lot harder than what it was?
Yeah. I thought there'd be a lot more into it, but I mean, really, we're used to a lot of that stuff up north, other than just being on a time schedule.
Basically what Mr. Lindsman just said to you, Mr. Greg Nosar, on your feed, on your camera with your name at the bottom of this, is that he's the new master of the Potomac River. So if you need some tips, you want to know how to catch them there, just, hit him up.
Hey, real quick, Rob, I want to bring on my guys because I didn't do this by myself. We had Eric Plens out here. He came down late last night. He fished. He left right after the tournament, and he's fishing tomorrow morning. Talk about dedication.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And
he didn't need any pre-fishing, though. He's fished here before.
Yeah, but, I mean, he had his work cut out for him. He did absolutely what he needed to do for us, and it worked out great for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to, if we got a moment, I'd like to bring on Zach and Jeff.
Hey, bring him on, bro. Bring him on.
All right.
Hey, man, I don't know if everybody should know by now. I don't work on a time schedule. All right. All these angles are going to get your time. What about you guys?
Howdy, sir.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
Pretty good. You?
I'm good, man. How was your day on the water?
Pretty good. The morning started out a little difficult, but with the knowledge and comfort of the team kind of holding me up while I was sorting out my junk, it allowed me to keep the head on my shoulders and head down and put something together.
Yeah,
so it worked out well.
Nice. Did you like the Potomac fishery?
Absolutely. As Matt touched on, it was a lot of what we are kind of used to. Not as much weed as I was kind of suspecting, but again, you just work around the time schedule and just keep grinding away.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, what'd you think of the opening night of the KFL, man? What was it? What you expected? Not what you expected? Exceeded expectations? What?
It absolutely exceeded. I was geeked about the team aspect from the get-go. That's what drew me into wanting to be a part of that. And of course, I was on live there right towards the end and, getting to see everything going down. I mean, I can't even tell you how excited I was. Here I am in a tournament.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get an upgrade, and I am just geeked about this dude rolling up to a dock. I want him to catch this fish. Like I'm rooting for him.
We were watching, man. You saw him kicking hard. You heard him breathing hard. And then he gets to the dock, and you're just like, I think his first cast, he had a fish on, but it spit the hook. And then it was just like,
yep.
I was like,
and every time I heard that braid, like I'm fishing, trying to do my thing. And every time I heard that braid tighten up, I'm like leaning into I'm leaning into my phone. Like, I got to see if this dude's catching this. Like I was hyped, dude. It was incredible. It was a lot of fun.
It really was. And it's only going to get better, man. It's only going to get better from here on out. That was the opening night.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
Yeah.
It's going to get more intense. There are going to be more moments just like that. And we're making history, man. You are part of history. Every person
Absolutely.
a part of this right now is a part of history in the kayak fishing world. And
absolutely.
It's an awesome thing. You have anybody you want to thank or say anything before we get it?
Oh, absolutely. I want to thank a friend of mine who has stepped up tremendously for our team, Matt Elliott in Mainstream Tackle. He's put together this for us, and he's a huge supporter of what we're trying to do here. And man, I can't thank him enough. That's for everybody on the team. We know what he's done for us, and it's something special. And we hope to do him proud. We hope that continues. And he's an incredible dude.
Absolutely,
and we appreciate that.
Hey, man, your team, Motor City's a part of the elite few right now who are undefeated.
Undefeated, baby.
Undefeated, baby.
Heck yeah.
Right. Let's keep that momentum going. Who do you have next week? Next week
we have Indianapolis coming into one of our lakes.
Oh yeah, where you got them coming?
Fletcher's Pond in the northern area of Michigan. It's an incredible lake. It's known to produce some giant bass. It can be tough, but it's a fun lake. It's a fun lake for sure.
Absolutely.
I think it's known that, I think Zach has brought it up that we believe the state record at one point was from that lake. So it's got some big fish in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Hoping
it shows out.
Put a little teaser out there for everyone. All right. Maybe we can get a new state record out.
Oh, that'd be incredible, wouldn't it?
That'll be great publicity. Hey, we might make you guys the poster boys. You catch a state record in the middle of a tournament with KFL.
Absolutely. So
I want to say thanks, Jeff, for coming on, man. Thank you for being a part of live earlier and just showing the excitement. Dude, it was genuine excitement from you and from everyone when we're watching him kicking it out. It was an awesome experience.
How can you not, man? How can you not? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you. Who we got coming up?
We got Zach coming in right now.
All right, Zach, coming in hot. Hey, Zach, Mr. Todd Patrick wants you guys to know that you guys are a really good team.
Yeah. Well, we knew that.
Oh, I love the confidence. We knew that. How you doing, Zach? How was your day?
I said it when I went out this morning. I started basically going in as the wild card for our team today. I know the guys that I fish with. I know their strengths, their weaknesses. I knew they were going to catch fish. And I went into today completely new spot, knowing nothing about it, and it worked out. 17 was my first fish, 18 and a quarter, 16, and then a 17 right at the end of the day. And the last half hour of the day, I caught maybe 15 fish, all within that last half hour bite, and was able to upgrade another inch. So
Exactly.
it just worked out well. And I mean, our team, like they were saying earlier, I mean, we worked really well together, planning not only from pre-fishing but all the way through to the end of the day. I mean, even just letting each other know, hey, we got 10 fish, our smallest fish is 15. If you won't want to waste time, throw that 15 back and keep fishing.
This is what I want to say real quick, Zach. I don't know how many of you or how many of us in general who are watching know who Zach Solaire is, right? But this is what you need to know, is there are no weak links in this league. There may be people you don't know who they are. But did you hear what my man Zach just said? In the last half hour, 15 fish he put up on a fishery he didn't. Did you have any practice time?
No, I've never fished tidal water. Well, I didn't fish the spot that I went today. I fished something completely different the first 2 days and never fished tidal water before.
Never fished tidal water before, never fished this spot, and put up over 15 to 20 fish today.
30 probably total throughout the day.
My bad. I mean,
15 in the last half hour though. That was fun.
Get it right. 15 in the last hour, player. I put up over 30. That's what I'm saying. There are no weak links in this league. The KFL is for real. We're traveling. We're fishing against other teams on their home waters, and we are taking out other teams on their home waters, like the Motor City Ambassadors did. They took out the Washington Warhawks, who were talking mad trash about how Potomac's their world.
It's always nice to come into someone's house and steal one from them.
Yeah, no, you didn't steal it. You took it. You already owned it.
Then we're upgrading our security when they come to ours.
Hey, so Zach, man, what were your expectations coming into this for KFL? And tell me about if they exceeded, if it was exceeded or met or whatever case may be.
I definitely exceeded. I mean, real quick, because I know we got to get going here and moving on. It exceeded my expectations, really. I mean, I knew I fished one team event at the KBF National Championship. You got to be on some team with some great guys, and I was unfortunately the weak link on that team. I struggled hard, and those guys, they had my back. And coming in fishing with guys that I know and I get to fish with a lot. I know, like I said, I knew they were going to catch fish today. I had to just go out and I either had to catch fish or I just had to hope that they caught the ones for me. And luckily we all put it together and had a good day all together.
Yeah, man. Hey, real quick before Greg, I know Greg's pushing you to leave or whatnot so we can get to everybody.
Yeah, he's just standing right here staring at me.
I know. Tell Greg, tell Greg I'm running this. He can yell at me later. Real quick, man, anybody you want to thank before we move on?
I mean, honestly, the Washington Warhawks been great. I mean, it's fantastic being out here. These guys on our team, I mean, just having each other's backs and, helping each other through it. And then, sponsors, Fireball, my sponsors, RoboHawk, Stretching Lines, Mainstream for the team. And then family. I mean, they've been the biggest support through all this. You tell your parents you're going to be a pro angler, and they're like, "What? Make some money."
Exactly.
So,
did you just say one of your sponsors is Fireball?
Yeah, not Fireball the liquor. I wish. Fireball Outdoors. They're a jig company.
Oh, okay. I love jigs, so I might have to check them out. But you
said
Fireball.
I ran 2 jigs all day today, bladed jigs.
We'll talk about that later. But thanks for coming on, Zach.
Yeah,
man. I appreciate you.
You have a good one.
You too, man. Hey, that was the Motor City Ambassadors, man. They took down the Washington Warhawks, Mr. Greg Nosar's team. It was awesome, especially since, doing nothing but talking trash. And here's the man. We're just talking good things about you right now.
I hear that. Let's roll, man. Let's roll to the next one. Let's get out of here. Enough of those stupid ambassadors.
Real quick, who do we have from West Virginia?
Yeah, man. So obviously West Virginia got a victory by default there. Indianapolis Knights. We're going to get Chris and them on, with us next week. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to them about about that matchup and all that stuff. But let's go ahead and go on to the next matchup. We got Tar Heel Lunkers and Carolina Casters. Let's get them all on, man. Another great matchup, man. The Battle of Carolina here, man.
It looks like we only have Mr. Eric Nelson.
We got Matt Dunn.
I didn't see Matt. Okay.
Yep. And Stephen Bell was there. He's disconnected, but we got these two boys.
What's up, guys?
What's happening?
What's happening? My Carolina family right there.
And Stephen Bell. There he is.
There he is.
Very good.
So, it started out kind of like a blowout early, but y'all turned it into a match. I liked it. Talk about Eric. Eric, tell us about your day, man.
It was fun. I found a school of fish up shallow right off the bat. And I just started having fun with that. That was a good time. But I missed a couple. Of good ones, probably 18s. And I stayed in one small area all day, and I just kept catching fish. So it was fun. I had a good time regardless of the outcome.
Word on the street is you're the MVP. Is that the case? MVP talking to us right now?
I don't think so. I think Christopher got me by a quarter of an inch, didn't he?
Did he? No, I'm not sure. Oh, you're right. He got you by a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
He was fishing on the other side of the place I was at.
Hey, so what did you think of the opening day of KFL, man?
That was a good time, man. I had a good time.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we get you on the water? I don't even recall if we did or not.
Yeah, I was on there for a little while, but then the browser crashed.
The browser crashed, man, for sure. Yeah.
I looked down after I started talking, and it was black. I was like, "Good."
For sure.
That's that North Carolina service for you.
Well, Steven, man, I mean, you guys, you guys did whatever you could, man. Just the bite didn't happen for you, man. I mean, we got you on camera a little bit. First time I really see Steven really frustrated, man. He was a little frustrated about this one.
Oh yeah, I mean, I traveled quite a bit around the lake, and just I kept catching small ones. I mean, just over and over again. I caught 20 bass. Only one was, and the rest of them were like 10 inches, 12 inches. I moved to, like, I was catching them on fluke and frog, and I was like, man, these small bass. So I switched over to a buzz bait, started throwing it in the grass, caught the 14-incher. Missed a couple more in the grass. It just wouldn't happen.
Hey, so Steven, you should take that as a precursor, man, to let you know you need to change the lake for our tournament.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not doing false.
For sure. Well, I mean, let's get to Matt, man. Congratulations on your victory, man. I loved your video afterwards, man. I mean, Matt Dunn, you man, you guys had it was a great humble video that you did, man, to all your sponsors and your teammates, man. I mean, you could tell that victory meant a lot for you guys.
Well, I mean, it does. I mean, just to me, if you break this down and think about what is going on right now, what happened earlier today, like history is what happened. And it's what is going to continue to happen here with the KFL. And like, I think we all knew this was going to happen, but we were like in the midst of it happening. And I just had an overwhelming feeling. And like right before I got back to the boat ramp, and I was like, either I need to say something nice or I need to embarrass myself a little bit more. Because I mean, I am very humbled by it, and I think all my team members are, and I'm sure I probably speak for a lot of the other teams too. Like this is awesome what's happening right now. And,
man,
amazing.
You said it perfect, man. Like, you anglers on all these teams just made everybody who fished today just made kayak fishing history.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what anybody has to say,
for sure,
on any platform, you guys just you had, what was it, 35,000, sir, Greg?
35,000 people watched.
Over
live.
30 from the man who runs that network. You had 35,000 people watching you guys fish on live.
Like, I mean, the few people I've talked to about it today in person have looked at me like I've lost my mind, and I'm like, I know it's crazy. Like, yeah, me, you know, and a lot of other guys that are just like me that love this sport and go out and deal with the heat, deal with the rain, deal with the snow, the cold, the boats, the jet skis, deal with all these dangerous conditions, and like the whole time we're out there living it up, loving it. I mean, loving it. And the world got to see a part of that today.
And you guys invited a bunch of people. Y'all invited a bunch of people to kayak fishing. People who've never seen it before, y'all invited them to kayak fishing today.
Yeah, I mean, it's major. Like that's part of being something great. You know?
You guys not only showcased your talents today, but you guys showcased the kind of people that you guys are and your characters. And I tell you, man, the sportsmanship, I mean, all about it, you know, and the competitiveness that you guys have, the balance of those two was very impressive, especially with you guys, you're both teams, you know, Hank Fajon and all this, you know, Eric Nelson and Stephen Bell, Matt Dunn, Dontrell Sullivan. I mean, all these guys, I mean, they're great guys, and you know they have a mutual respect for one another like it's none other, man. And it was so cool, man, to watch. And man, I tell you, you know, you guys are so close because you guys are fishing, you know, all these tournaments together. But man, you know, I'm sure it's tough to go against you guys. I mean, you know, go against each other in this kind of format. But the job had to get done, man. Somebody had to catch the fish, and somebody had to win. And I'm sure you guys are looking forward to the next matchup between y'all, and we'll see what happens. I think the next one's at Sharon Harris. Is that not right?
I want to think this one is at Jordan. Is that right?
Was it Jordan? Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan. All right.
Jordan. Okay. Very good. Yeah, I can't wait to see this. I mean, this is like the Tobacco Road. You know, this is Duke, North Carolina, man. This is a Tobacco Road matchup, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. Those of you guys don't know, Eric Nelson helps us build the KFLfishing.com. Man, does a wonderful job. And man, you know, Stephen Bell is always, man, dude, he always catches fish, and it was just a frustrating day to see him not be able to do that today. And then Matt Dunn is a stick out of North Carolina, and watching this matchup, man. And again, I just really appreciated the video he did. Go check it out on his Facebook page about, man, you talk about how to win with graciousness. Matt Dunn did that today, and I appreciate that, man. That's really, really good.
And Matt Dunn never not has a smile on his face.
That's right.
Well, I mean, what's not to smile about? I mean, you know, I could write a book on my life and tell you about all these crazy things that have happened to me in my life and be negative about it all. But what to what end? I mean, what good is that for? Like, I'm thankful.
Correct.
I'm here right now talking to all of you. I'm thankful for everything I have around me. And really, at the end of the day, I'm like, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have any of this.
Amen. True.
Yes.
That's true.
Like, I mean, we're making history, and like for some reason or another, you guys invited me into this, you know. And I'm gonna be I'm the goofy one. I can't help it. This is who I am. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful. Like Stephen and Eric and all the guys on the casters, like we're brothers. You know, this is what we do. This is what we love. And we're crazy for it, but hey, we're on it together.
100%. Well, guys, Tar Heel Lunkers take the victory. They're 1-0. Carolina Casters are 0-1, and I don't expect that to last too much longer. They're going to come back with vengeance and furious anger in the next go around. Guys, have a great night. Thanks for coming on KFL Tonight, man, talking about your matchup. This is amazing. Good job.
Right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. All right, take care, y'all.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, there they go. And man, that's the next matchup, man. It was really, really cool to see. All right, next matchup was the Lone Star Bandits. My goodness, what a performance by Mr. Jim Louvier against Arkansas Hogs. Let's get Mr. Jim on, shall we?
Yes, we can. I think Jim's in transit right now.
Jim is in transit, and let's get his buddy,
Captain
Marcus Coates
back.
What's up?
Hey man, you get some water in you, Captain Clapback.
Whew.
You were looking pretty.
You're
looking pretty thirsty early, brother.
A little hot out there, Mr. Marcus.
I mean, it was only triple digits. No big deal.
No big deal, man. No big deal. We're trying.
Jim's probably going through a hot low spot in cell service, but as soon as he comes on, we'll bring him back in.
For sure, man. All right, Marcus, talk about it, man. Dude, you had a front row seat. What was going on, man? Talk about what happened here.
Man, so we had a solid game plan last night. And we went out and execute. I mean, we executed it, right? So we get on the water. Me and Jim are at one ramp. Derek and Jared are at a different ramp that was supposed to have a strong morning bite. Me and Jim were supposed to go for fish that we keeper fish. They were supposed to fill the limit. Well, we get out there and I catch a fish on the second or third cast. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good day. I called Jim like an hour later. I'm like, have you got any bites? Because I had one and done. And he's like, no, but I'm going to this spot that I marked 2 days ago. And I hear him roll up to the spot. I can hear his bait caster as he's casting. And then I just hear him say, got one. And I'm like, your line couldn't have been whatever. And we're yelling and hooping and hollering. He goes, 18.5. I said, okay. And then he throws right back out there. Got another one. Oh, a 17.25 just jumped off my board. And at that moment, I was so mad at that man. I had no idea that he was going to catch a fish on every one of his next 28 casts. But at that moment, I was hot.
I'm sure. Like, you can't fail now, man. I mean, Marcus, I mean, seriously, dude, we fish KBBT, we fish all these live events, these individual events, give me the feeling, man. I mean, what was like compete for real today with your teammates out there, man?
Oh, I mean, it was great. I mean, we had a whole lot of communication, which was the key component to everything. I mean, we talked on the phone a lot. Derek Miller had a 24, which would have been a catch and release record at Lake Conway, I'm pretty sure, come off his board. Luckily, we didn't need it, but, you could hear him hollering across the lake. I mean, overall, dude, the KFL it's a totally different thing, and it's hard not to get caught in the mindset of, oh, I didn't have a great day, because you need to be concentrated on, well, my team rocked it out. Well, my gym rocked it out. But it's remarkable, man. It's a whole different feeling. It's a different type of competition, and it's a blast.
For sure.
But you better have a phone charger, because the amount of communication this takes. We were on the phone a lot today, but that helped us. That helped us know that we needed to stay clear of Jim's area, because when the man's hungry, let him eat.
No doubt, man. Jim Louvier, talk about your day, dude. That was incredible.
So first of all, I want to say this: it's a team sport. All right. And I have to say kudos to my team members, because we came up with a plan to divide and conquer. We went to 3 different areas with a plan to have a limited 10 by 8 o'clock. I'm the guy that got lucky and stumbled on them. My teammates did their job, and they carried through all day with the plan.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to cut you off because I'm going to call bullshit. You didn't get lucky. That was skill, sir. Skill and experience. It wasn't lucky. I get it. You're being humble and you give your team. Like, I get all that. But there's no humbleness here. That was skill, man. I'm sorry. You can yell at me later.
I'm trying to be humble, but you're right. I mean, I'll be honest, I found a brim bed scouting on Thursday. I didn't even catch a fish in it. I knew it was a very high potential place. It wasn't the first place I went to this morning. I had caught some earlier in the lily pads. So I went to the pads, nothing. I went to the brim bed, and like Mark said, it was fire. It was just I had 360. I could see the brim bed. I could see the bass. Mark calls me up and says, how many fish can you catch in there? And I said, I'm going to call your 17.75. That's how many bass they got right here.
Guess what didn't happen?
I didn't call the 17.75, but I did call 2 of mine.
Marcus,
telling them I was going to call the guys at Fishing Chaos and have his fish taken off the board and mine put on.
All right. Well, we have breaking news. Jim Louvier has been announced as Week 1 KFL Player of the Week.
MVP.
Jim Louvier has the biggest bass caught in week 1 with the 21-inch bass. I don't know if you knew that, but now you know, sir.
And
On
he
a
also
lake-
put up 192 inches by himself.
On a lake,
192 and a quarter.
on a lake that's not his home lake, people,
Right.
Or in his home state.
nor in the state of Texas.
That's right.
That's
So,
incredible, Jim.
One of my most hated terms is when people talk about fishing. What do they call that, Mark, again? Your home water.
Honey hole.
Honey holes. I hate the fact that people say, "Oh, he's fishing his honey hole," and I think what KFL is going to prove, like Mr. Brown said earlier, there are some damn good fishermen in KFL. And
No kidding.
There is no such thing as honey hole.
Correct.
All right?
And it's the ones you don't know.
I went to a different state. I brought my skills with me, like the rest of my team did, and we proved that you could go just about anywhere and you could hook them up.
For sure.
There's not one bad angler in KFL except for Robert the Jigmaster Brown. Other than that, everyone else is a beast.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You guys did a heck of a job. And you know what? I'm going to have to give kudos to Arkansas because I'll be honest with you, I did not expect the fight that they put up today. I really didn't. Jim, I mean, look, let's be honest. You found a pot of gold and you capitalized on it and just put your foot on their throat. But dude, they didn't give up, man. They kept it going to the end. And I'll be honest with you, man. I was very impressed with that team today.
They caught a fit. They upgraded with 3 minutes left to go.
I love it. Didn't give up.
So that's a testament to the quality of angler there, man. How many people can go on that, look at that scoreboard and see that you're facing a Mount Everest of a deficit to cover and just give up? They didn't.
No.
They kept coming for Jim and Captain Clapback and the rest of the Lone Star Bandits.
They sure did, man.
If you only knew how much water I covered and how many 15-inchers I boat flipped trying to make sure I had one fish that stuck at the end of the day.
Bro, Christopher Catucci boat flipped a 20-incher like it was
nobody's business.
Like it was a 15-incher. Probably because he only had like 15 seconds left.
It was incredible.
I watched the video. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. Well, boys, Jim, congratulations. Lone Star Bandits are 1-0. How's that sound?
Sure, we got the hardest matchup out the game early. It's easy street from here on out.
Man.
We got the hard game going early.
Can y'all say target painted?
I would say.
We were a target painted before this weekend. Now we just let them know what they up against.
No, Marcus, you were a target prior to this weekend.
When you got Marcus, Captain Clapback Coach as your coach and your owner, guess what? You are a target.
Yeah, no kidding. There's no doubt about that. Well, boys, we're going to let you guys go. We're going to get further down this scoreboard and get these other anglers on. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Adios.
Thanks, guys.
You're
Take
definitely
care.
on my radar.
Man, awesome job by Jim there and the Lone Star Bandits, man. Next matchup, dude, Alabama Hammers, 180.5 to Florida Copperheads, 159.75.
Before we get them on, I would like, if you're listening, Mr. Bonetti, you are invited to this feed, sir. You better come on now.
Yeah, no kidding. Where's he at? Where's Benetti?
Yeah, where's Benetti? Do we have any of the anglers? I don't see any of them in backstage.
I don't think so. Wow. Oh, let me give you some breaking news, by the way, on this. We had a pretty major injury in this matchup. Actually, we do. Here we go. Coley McGowan,
there he is,
the star of Alabama Hammers, man.
What's
the
that?
sheriff? We call him the sheriff, the deputy sheriff, man. I was getting ready to announce. Man, we had an injury. We had an injury with one of your teammates, man. Mr. Jeremy Baker blew out his hamstring, man.
Get out of here! Is that real?
Joke. I'm not joking. Yeah,
he really did. I believe he went to the hospital also.
He sure did, man.
He blew out his hamstring?
It was disgusting looking. I'm not even going to show it on air. It was bad.
You have a video of it or something? Like,
well, I got pictures. I'll show you.
I don't. Okay, yeah, don't show it on air.
No, It was bad.
Coley, man, what a day! Actually, what a way to come on strong.
Yeah, man, I was kind of nervous, man. I was on the struggle bandwagon for a while.
Oh, Mr. Benetti heard my call, huh?
There he is. Florida Copperheads himself.
You'll get your time. But right now, we're talking to Coley, so you got to wait. Right? We're talking to the winning team right now.
Coley,
I hear you.
Coley, I have to tell you, man. Like, you know, I was watching the Florida Copperheads, and I was watching their the scoreboard, and it was like 159 to like 80, and I'm like, oh my god! And it was like they were doubling you up, and I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, well, you're gonna let Florida Copperheads come to your house and let them double up like this? I mean, my goodness, it was like okay. And then we saw John Fox, we saw Danny Gann was sprinkling in some, and then Conrad Benetti actually really caught on fire, caught a bunch of fish, not a lot of big fish, and then all of a sudden around, I guess it was around,
dude, it was
12?
crazy. It was crazy.
12, the last hour.
It was like I want to say it was the last hour that you guys started throwing up fish after fish after fish. And Greg was actually doing an interview, and I was looking, and I'm like, holy expletive, boom, 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 boom. And I'm sitting here trying to judge it. And I'm like, oh my God, they just keep coming. I'm just like, that was impressive, man. That was exciting.
Yeah, man, it was wild because like an area that had pre-fished was like, I mean, it was just dry. I mean, I'd got like a couple of small bites, and I was like, man, I kept looking at the leaderboard, and I'm like, man, Florida is just putting it on us right out the bat. I mean, just like right out the gate. And then I knew I had to make a change, so I ended up moving areas and find a little bit better water that wasn't as much boat traffic. So yeah, and it was like I was like, oh, is it too late? And it just started falling together, I guess.
It sure did, man.
It was impressive.
All right, let's get the man, the myth, the legend, Conrad. Man, look, you went up there. You had no pre-fishing. You let your teammates, kind of do all the pre-fishing for you, man. And you were texting me, man. You guys were pretty confident. It looked like it was going to happen, man. Talk about your day, man.
Yeah, I mean, good day. We had a good game plan going into it. John Fox and Danny Gann, they pre-fished, and Starley, they pre-fished. So I figured I'd do my own thing and kind of have those guys hang together. Although we changed it up, Starley wound up coming with me. And it was Gann and Fox were going to be on the bigger fish. I was just trying to catch, 5 or 6, 7 bass, you know what I mean? So it went to plan. We just couldn't get that big bite,
Yeah. Talk about the conditions, man. I mean, both you guys, it was, it looked like it was, from what I saw, it looked pretty decent, but it looked like it was a little mudded water there, huh?
Yeah, it was very dirty. A lot of boats. I don't know if the Hammers planned to be a 1,000 boat bass tournament on the lake while we were on it. I don't know if that was the plan, but if it was, they did a very good job of throwing us off with that.
Yeah, somebody messaged me. It was like a 200 boat tournament up, down there in Neely Henry. I'm like, shocker, they actually fish in Alabama.
I saw that message. I saw that. I was like, that's crazy.
Actually, there was only 54 boats in that tournament, so 200 may be a little exaggerated.
Hey,
54 times 6 tournaments going on.
Listen, this is Alabama, bro. Of course we're exaggerating.
Everybody owns a boat, man. Everybody.
That's okay. We're not gonna take him to Fellsman. We're gonna take him to Okeechobee for our matchup now. with like a 900 boat bass tournament.
That's actually probably accurate for Okeechobee.
Oh yeah. But nah, man. We knew, man. I was hyping it up. I was putting up posts. It was emotional for me after the great Real Foot debacle.
Yeah.
To just get on fish, man, and show that I can. I just showed up and fished. That's what I did, and it was good to put some hooks in some non-Florida fish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Listen, Nemesis. All right. It was very impressive for you to show up like that and just put that many fish up on the board, never having a day on the water, man. Regardless of what's said on the internet or said anywhere, there are no weak fishermen in this league at all.
No.
Conrad the Barbarian Benetti is a stick. Everybody in this league is a stick, and we're going to prove it Every week, week in, week out, the teams are going to prove it. Somebody has to lose. So
I think this matchup showed how hard it is to go into somebody else's house, like in Alabama water, and to be able to dominate. And I mean, Coley, you know, you've been fishing here, man. You know, dude, you know, you still have to catch the fish, but man, the team needed you to step up and, buddy, you put it on a performance like it was none other, man. That especially all those fish coming at the last hour, man. Kudos to you, man, for putting your foot on their throat.
Hey, before both of you guys leave us, I want to hear from both of you. What did you think of the opening day of the KFL? What was it? What you expected? Above, below? Be honest with me. I don't care. I want to know.
I was pumped about this day. Like, me and Jeremy Baker have been like, we met up this morning at the ramp and we were talking about it. We've been talking up to it like all this time leading up to this event. And it was like, it's just different being on a team versus, you know, because, you know, kayak fishing like tournaments is usually like a solo thing. But man, just that team aspect of it, like, you know, you can have guys fishing different water columns, different, you know, just total different techniques. And it was just, you know, it's just, I don't know, it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100%. We were looking forward to this. We kind of felt we had to go into Alabama if we can lead off with a steal a win there. I think we would have been sitting real pretty the rest of the way. I don't think anyone's coming into Florida and beating this team. I figure if we can steal one from Bama, but like, you know, they did what they had to do, man. They protected their home, and they you know, they did it in such dramatic fashion at the end, last 2 hours, just putting on a show. So, you know, very cool, man. Kudos to them, man.
That was our second best story right there. The fact that Alabama came in the last hour and just said, no, Florida, you're not taking this from us. And now Florida is going to at least guarantee 2 losses this year. They got one to Bama, and then they're going to have the second one to the Norfolk Private School. I don't know how you're going to make the playoffs with 2 losses, Mr.
That's going to be tough, man. That's going to be tough.
Yeah,
man.
we'll be there. We'll be all right.
Well, boys, thank you guys for coming on. Conrad, drive safe, man. I know you got a long drive, man. Congratulations on, you know, your performance yourself, man. But Alabama does take the victory, and that's what matters, man. It's wins and losses, and Alabama's sitting pretty. So here we go to the next week, guys.
Yep. Be good, fellas. Thank you.
Coley.
All right, Coley. Thanks for coming on, man. Yeah. Man, what a great match, man. What a great match that was.
The Bama players are some of my favorite individuals so far that I've met in the league.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, we got the next matchup was Southeast Texas Rough Riders versus Louisiana Hurricanes, man. This was a low-scoring matchup, man. This was pretty interesting.
I may get yelled at by a bunch of these anglers from both these teams, but I had very high expectations. And then I found out that my guy right here, Mr. Frentress, was the only one fishing against 4
This
people.
was very interesting. Let's see if we can get Kyle on as well. Kyle Schroeder from Southeast Texas. And, man, I believe it was Canyon Lake that you guys fished, correct?
Yeah.
Man,
no one in Texas knows about Canyon Lake. That's all I got to say. It's like real foot number 2 here.
Real foot 2. No doubt. Well, I mean, we had a little bit of an issue this early this morning. I got a call from Big Moon, John Mooney, and it was about 5 a.m. and he said, man, we had to take Bradkin into the hospital. He's had some issues, and man, you know, obviously John was there with him, couldn't make it to the lake, and it was a solo match between Matt Frentress and Southeast Texas Rough Riders. And Matt, you're winning most of the day. And I was like, what is going on here? You know, I mean, like Southeast Texas, you got 4 guys do something, or 3 guys do something. But Kyle, man, let's talk about the lake, man. Let's talk about the conditions. It did not seem like it was ideal.
Oh no, it was it was brutal. But I've not before this morning. I never even set foot on this lake before. This is brand new. For what a little bit I gathered from the talks we had about how the lake was going, but from what they're saying, like the lake's a little low right now, but it's starting to get a bunch more hydrilla than they're used to. There's another lake close to me here in Belton. It's called Stillhouse Hollow. It's had hydrilla in it for a long time. It grows out to like 25 feet. Just, you know, you have like hundreds and hundreds of yards of offshore stuff like that. Canyon used to be mostly just rock and limestone, that kind of thing, but now it's chock full of hydrilla. So now they're more spread out. There's a lot more water. So I went out, just tried top water, not a thing. I mean, the clarity is roughly 6 foot, 7 feet plus. It's clear in some spots, but pretty freaking clear. Nothing top water, nothing swim jig. I went out to Main Lake Point, just started seeing just big, huge clouds of bluegill. But I mean, like when I say like there was like thousands of bluegill, like I thought there was like some of these bluegill were like white bass when they were coming up.
So it is real foot. It is real foot, no doubt.
I was so thinking that while you're talking.
Real foot.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee. It's a brim lake.
Brim.
I've never seen bluegill like come up to like school like that before. Like you see like a couple dozen come up in that clear water. There's like a bug hatch. I saw a couple of those cicadas floating around, but
yeah.
Like I mean,
you really thought it was schooling fish, but it'd be like 2 or 3 and then disappear. I figured out those weren't bass; those were something else. So.
All bluegill. You'd see them up, but like on the side scan, you'd see them just the clouds. And down scan, you see them like they'd be suspended out over that hydrilla, and that most of them were in like that 15 to 20 foot range, right above that hydrilla. But I was just scanning around. I mean, I'm probably a good 150 yards offshore. I mean, this is a huge Main Lake point just hundreds and hundreds of yards of this thing. So I just started throwing a drop shot around, and probably first 10 minutes caught that 17 incher. He smoked the piss out of that thing. Then I caught one on a wacky rig version, but I had those 2 in the first 2.5 hours and not a thing. I had one hit a S waver later on in the day, but the other guys, Adam caught 2 keepers at the end of the day in like I think 30. He had to go to 30 feet of water to catch a keeper. Carlos went up river on the Guad, and he said he caught 11 fish, all were under 14s. Rolando.
Hey Kyle, I want to let you know.
Yeah,
I never want to fish this lake.
It doesn't sound like it's great.
It doesn't sound good at all.
Hey, I drove 6 hours to fish it. It was brutal.
Yeah,
it did not fish very like right now. Springtime, they when the grass isn't so damn thick out there, it'd be a little bit better. But still
right
next to me. That's why I avoid it during the summertime. It's same thing. It's a super clear deep water. Hydrilla everywhere.
So now I have a question. You said there's hydrilla in like 25 foot of water.
Oh yeah, I got some photos if you want to see.
How high did the hydrilla come? Like, are we talking about it was at the surface in 25 feet of water?
No, it's like so when I say
submerged,
it's in 25 feet of water. It's like the deepest I saw was 22, but like it'll be like a foot or 2 off. Like in 18 feet, it's still 3-4 feet off the bottom.
Okay. Now I understand. That means those fish are everywhere.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
None of them are together.
no doubt. No doubt.
You're just fishing outside clumps. You got a couple 100 yards of outside clumps to work on.
Jesus.
So
how big is this lake?
Not really that big. I think like 20,000 acres. It's not gigantic by any means. It's but I did not like it.
My biggest lake in this area is 1,000 acres. So
that's
oh man, we lost Matt. Hopefully he can come on because I want to ask him a question. Well, to Kyle, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you heard that Brad and Big Moon were out, man, what was y'all's reaction?
We were just hoping they were okay. With I didn't even see that message till later in the day that the only one fishing, but I think it was like kidney stones or something like that.
Yeah, it was kidney stones. Matt, what was your reaction, man, when you heard that? It's like, oh my gosh, I got to do this myself, man. What in the world, man? What can you do?
Well, I mean, first you feel bad because the kidney stones they suck, and you just feel bad because I don't even know. But the night before, that evening, they were dealing with trailer issues. They busted some bearings and were having to get all that fixed the night before as well. So I got the call from Mooney first thing in the morning, and you felt kind of like empowered, like, all right, well, let's see what happens. Like I knew yesterday when I pre-fished that I was like, okay, this lake's fishing tough. I mean, I've never been here, but I scouted a bunch of stuff yesterday, and I was like, I know it's going to be tough. So if I can happen to stumble across a couple of schools, which I had 3 different schools located from pre-fishing yesterday. All of them I caught keepers off the day before. A couple of them came in button the day before. So I pulled up to my first spot and was dragging a biffle bug up the side of it's kind of like a shelf of a kind of a turn in the creek or whatever.
Were you throwing it on a hard head?
Do what?
Were you throwing it on a hard head?
Yeah. Yeah. Just dragging it up the side of that thing. It was about 25 foot comes up to about 4 foot on top. I started throwing topwater there first thing in the morning, so I hit 2 quick, and I was like, okay, if this school fires up, this could be interesting. And I caught those 2, and I caught 4 more off of that spot, 2 more on another spot, and they were all small. I did catch a smallmouth in Texas too, which was pretty weird. But yeah, I mean, I will say this lake is probably the most beautiful lake I've ever been on, without a doubt. It feels like you're on the ocean. The water's so blue and clear. It has these giant trees everywhere. It is beautiful, but
now, Mr. Schroeder, you're definitely gonna have to send me some pictures now. Now I want to see this lake.
Okay, but like what Matt was saying, it's a pretty beautiful lake. Like all those the dozens of damn pleasure boaters thought so too.
Oh man, they were everywhere.
Oh my gosh! Look, I mean, guys, this looked like an absolute grind fest. I mean, we it's one of those happens. I mean, it's sometimes it's a pitcher's duel, right? This is exactly what it was, man. And Matt, I'm gonna have to give you your due, man. I mean, going out there with no teammates, dude, and I'm sure it was frustrating for you. And then I could only imagine what it was like for the Southeast Texas guys. They're like, how in the heck is this guy even close to us? And then, I mean, it's just one of those frustrating days, man. And I think I saw a comment. I think Todd Patrick said, y'all need to maybe choose Possum Kingdom next time. Those guys are throwing up 200 inchers, man. Come on. I mean, it's just crazy. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to, it's just one of those, it's just one of those lakes that was just tough. And, man, you guys grinded it out. And this was a true grind. I mean, you guys grinded it out. And, Southeast Texas did wind up getting the victory. But, man, ultimately, look, what is this all about? Brad Kennan, we hope that you're well, man. We hope your teammates, Matt, are well. Big Moon was so disappointed today. He couldn't fish, man. He was just beat and tired, and there's understand what was going on. And there is a rule that you have to compete with 3 anglers. We knew that, but the 3 anglers made it down to the event. They were there, and because of the emergency, we allowed Matt to fish by himself and give it his go, man. So that's why we allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I do hope Bradley's okay, and it was I was, to be honest, whenever I heard from Mooney, I was like, okay, well, I mean, you got a chance to be a hero, and I was kind of excited to get out. I mean, literally, I did have those schools, and I thought if they would fire up, I thought I had a chance, especially when I was looking at the leaderboard first thing that morning, and then 10 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I just need one more fish or a couple more fish, I might be in it, and that it kept me motivated. I mean, it was hot. It was hot out there. You had boats, jet skis doing circles around you, but you just keep trying to fish, thinking if something would happen. I had throwing a deep diving crankbait on the side of one of those ledges and had a big one get off. I don't know how it got off, but that would have made it pretty interesting for sure.
I'm a little upset at both of you guys, and the only reason is I don't ever recall having either one of you on live today.
Yeah, so I don't know what I was having some issues with StreamYard where it's making this real crackly noise, and I don't know. I'll have to work on that for the next event, but it can get the sound quality to work.
Yeah. I saw you guys trying to come on.
What you got for me, Kyle? I would have liked for 35,000 people to look at your face.
Yeah, I need to try and get like a phone mount or something so I can keep fishing, because I was just trying to get I was just trying to grind out and get a limit So I honestly did not even think about it till about like 11:30, 12 o'clock. I'm like, oh, whoops.
Are you a part of the KFL owners group?
Probably not. I think
All
Lisa.
right. Well, I'll send you a couple links of what I use, and it'll give you an idea, just a starting point of what you could use.
Okay.
And it's not very expensive at all. So
Okay.
you can get both of them for less than $40 for the whole setup.
That work, and I got that rogue fishing tether, so I'm not going to be dropping my phone in the water no more.
Yeah, dude, I use the tether all the time because if I drop my phone in the water, my wife would kill me. So
for sure. Well, guys, sorry about the grind, man. It's just one of those things, and hopefully week 2 we get better for both teams, man. And let's see what happens, man.
Hey, I do want to say thanks to my wife. Her and my son went down there, kind of made like a little short vacation trip out of it. And
excellent.
We had some good fun down there at a resort down there. And
that is awesome.
Yeah, she dropped me off at the ramp this morning, which only a good woman would wake up that early.
My wife wouldn't do it.
No, my wife wouldn't do that either.
You're winning. My wife wouldn't do it, bro.
No.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have done that either. So, well, good stuff,
and
man.
big thanks to my hurricane team. They were very encouraging throughout the day. Kept me motivated, kept trying, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But we'll get some dirty water for some folks. Get back in that dirty water where we like it. So,
well, Matt, I can tell you 100%. You were definitely the player of the game for your Louisiana Hurricanes.
MVP, son. MVP, son.
That's right. Well, guys, thanks you guys for coming on. Kyle, Matt, thanks for coming on and being a great sport, man. And man, let's catch some fish next week, man. Take care, guys. All right, take care. All right, man. We got our last matchup coming up, and that is the Bay State Attack versus the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks. This was a shocker. Bay State Attack comes into Pennsylvania and takes down the Bronzebacks.
So before we bring them on, I didn't understand this matchup. This is why. Because when I talked to Pennsylvania, I did their interview. They were so adamant about if you don't have experience on this waterway,
right?
You were going to struggle.
Right.
Pennsylvania, I'm not talking trash, but I'm kind of talking trash. What? You said if you don't have experience on this waterway, you're going to struggle. And you guys lost on your own waterway. I mean, don't get me wrong. Home teams are going to lose. But the confidence that you guys exuded and that I felt, I was like, there's no way that anybody's going to beat them at home.
For sure.
I bet on you guys on the odds. I lost.
Well, let's talk to one of the Pennsylvania guys. Nick, the river just didn't show up today for you guys, man.
Nick, I was with you guys.
I know. It did not show up today. I told you, Greg, I thought it was going to take high 170s to win, and it ended up being that. It just wasn't our day. I think part of the problem was the water above the Juniata River was starting to fall. It was muddy falling water. And I looked at the bank about halfway through the day, and I just saw like some weeds up on the shoreline, and I could see the water level came down about an inch or two. And it's one thing when the water's muddy and rising, you could usually get on a good feed there. But when that water is muddy and it starts falling, the fish, they were still up there. I saw them blowing up. I think a few of them are fry guarding. I was trying to catch them. I threw the tackle box at them today. They just did not want to commit. I ended up landing in 116 and a bunch of shorts, and it was a struggle out there today for sure.
Did you say you ended up landing? 116, as in 116.
Me myself, I had 116.
Oh, okay.
Mick and Mark. Mick got on some good ones. I think he had a 19 and an 18, and Mark had 3 fish himself. But the numbers were not there. I mean, last week pre-fishing, I wasn't out there pre-fishing, but Chris and Mark and Mick were, and they all put up mid-80s bags for their best fives when they went out pre-fishing, and it just did not show up today. We had rain last week, water was rising, and this just today, like literally during our tournament, the water started falling up there, and it shut off. When I saw that, I should have known to get out of there. And I was thinking about it 2 or 3 times, trying to maybe just going back to the ramp, trailering to a new ramp and relaunching. But by the time I came to making a decision, it was just too late in the day.
Well, that's the struggle we go through as anglers, right? I mean, really, everything we do is based off of the decisions we make, and sometimes we're rocking with it. We make the right decisions. Like it feels like every decision we make is the right decision because we're catching, and then other times it's like every decision I make is the wrong decision because I ain't caught but one damn fish, or 2 damn fish, whatever the case may be.
Yep, it was. I think the move was definitely trying to be below the Juniata River where it comes into the Susquehanna, because down there the water was still coming in. They had more rain down that way yesterday, and the water was a little bit muddier. But I think that the flow was increased down there. I mean, it was still moving pretty good. The river. It wasn't low by any means. It was definitely up, but up, muddy, and falling. So that was the recipe that did not play out well for us today.
Yeah, I mean, we're every team wants to end this thing, undefeated, but it's impossible because somebody has to lose.
Yep.
Regardless of the outcome, tell me about what your experience was for the opening day of the KFL.
Oh, well, it was great. I mean, I got to watch some of the live streams this morning before I was out on the water, and I just have to say what an incredible job that you guys are doing with those. The transitions are on point. Everything just looks really crisp and working really well. In terms of actually fishing out like during a KFL game, I keep mentioning how the team aspect is great, and I kind of got the other side of that today, where I was the teammate that wasn't able to fill my portion of the limit and be able to pick up the guys who did catch them. Like Mick caught a couple good fish today. If we all just caught a couple more good fish, me and Chris, we were up the river a little bit more. If we just filled out our limits, I mean, we might have had a chance. It was just
correct.
Well, that's a part of what I think is special, because whether you're on the right side or the left side, it's a different feeling than you ever had to deal with when it comes to fishing tournaments.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I let people down today. I mean,
it's crazy though, right?
You didn't let people down, not at all, man.
No,
I mean, this is fishing, bud.
It's fishing, but you know what I mean. Like, as much as you like rely on your teammates, you also want to be a part of helping them out as well. Like they put forward, and we just didn't get it done today. But there's next week. We got the Maulers coming to town. And that I'm going to say, I think it becomes a must-win right now. We get a win.
Nick, that was my next question. Is this a must-win?
Yeah,
Have we hit the must-win territory
already? Trust me, we're in the same situation. We're in the same situation.
Yeah, I think we're definitely a must-win next week. We're going to have to re-game plan, figure out what we want to do, and it's a must-win for sure.
It definitely is. It definitely is, because going down 0-2 in the KFL is like going down 3-0 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and you look at our division that we're in right now, or at least our section of the division. I mean, we got 2 wins obviously and 2 losses, but if we could get a win against the Maulers, then we're right back on top with what's going on with the rest of the division. I mean,
I'm assuming you're in the Northern Conference.
Yeah, Northern Conference, and we play the Maulers, Rebels, and obviously Bay State Attack. They fished great today. I mean, props to those guys. They really put on a show today.
I'm just saying, if you beat the Maulers next week, you're pretty much record tied with them.
But yeah.
And actually, it's not a bad thing, because the Maulers are 1-0 right now, right? They beat the Rebels, right? Bay State beat you guys.
Yep.
You beat the Maulers. It's like there's no tiebreaker as of yet. So if you beat the Maulers, you're back in. It's like almost like you're back to 0-0.
Yeah,
almost exactly like you're back to 0-0.
We could definitely undo a lot of the standings damage that we did today, but with the win next week. So that's why I say I think it's a must win, and we'll be ready for it.
Did you guys learn anything as a team today?
I think we learned that, Chris and I were fishing similar areas up the river, and I don't know if that's the best strategy on the river, because you're covering similar water and you're not getting to different parts of the river. So I think if we spread out, we can maximize like whatever bite is happening. I didn't see any of the guys from Bay State up in our neck of the woods, and neither did Mick or Mark. So I think they might have been lower on the river, maybe towards Harrisburg. And if that were the case, if we spread out, we might have been able to capitalize on a different bite that they had because of whatever reason, the water coming in from the Juniata or whatever. But I think if we spread out more, cover more water, and try to get a different look on the river, because it doesn't fish all the same. Like I was saying during the live stream, the one side of the river was completely muddy, blown out, and the other side was like somewhat clear, and it was almost like you're on two different bodies of water just crossing a quarter-mile wide river.
For sure, for sure. Well, it's man, I tell you, it's it was. I mean, I couldn't believe the leaderboard, and I saw Adam Patron. I'm like, Adam Patron is putting up like all this bass. And he must have just like found this like specific rock and had all those bass and just kept on going back through it. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it was all day. They were putting them up, good size, but I looked at the size. I mean, we were there on pace with the size that they were catching. It was just we just did not have the numbers. Just couldn't find the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, man. That's what happens for sure. Well, dude, I'm sorry about your loss, but thanks for coming on, man. And just talking about your day, man. It's a tough day sometimes, my friend, and it is what it is, man. That's just fishing, and but dude, just gotta come back strong next week, man. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
For sure, can't wait.
Well, Nick, thanks for coming on, man. Again, you take trust me, I know what it means to take the L, man. My team did too, man. I gotta do something about it next week, man. That's it.
All right.
So
that's all we can do.
That's all you can do, man. Good job, Nick, man. Thanks for your support, bro. And looking forward to see what you guys do next week.
Yeah, you too. And congrats to you on a great first week here with the KFL.
Thank you, bro. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys, man. No doubt.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna get ready to get out of here, but I do want to address one thing. Okay, I've been getting messages about the Indianapolis Knights and the West Virginia game. I'm going to announce it here, and I'm just going to tell you about it. What exactly happened? I received a phone call late last night in regards to this particular situation. West Virginia was due to face Indianapolis on the Elk River. And where Indianapolis was, there was a some pretty heavy current. I saw some video. I saw the river rise. I saw the gates open. And I've been on rivers. I have personally fished rivers for a very long time. And Sam did not feel that it was safe to put his team on that body of water in those conditions. And again, we are 100% safety first. I said, Sam, that's completely your call. I would discuss it with the home team, see if there's an alternate body of water to compete on. So a couple hours later, him and Chris were discussing on multiple bodies of water. This was about 10 or 11 o'clock last night, and they could not come to an agreement on where to fish. Now, each team is supposed to have backup lakes if this occurs. Or backup waters if this occurs. And so there's been multiple, there were multiple options that were given to the Indianapolis Knights at the time and was continued to be discussed. It was brought to my attention at that time about 11 o'clock p.m. that the Indianapolis Knights decided to forfeit the game. I asked Sam to reconsider the forfeit and try to find a different body of water to compete on and reevaluate the situation at daylight so they can either look at different rivers that may have not been flooded out or this may have not been a dangerous situation. And I try to get them to discuss it. Now, listen, the home team has the call, not an independent body. We do not know the bodies of water. We are not familiar with their own bodies of water. We trust the home team to make a decision. If it was too dangerous to go and too dangerous to play, that is the home body of water's decision. They disagreed about the safety about several bodies of water. Sam took the right decision, what it was best for his team. He decided to forfeit. They did not want to compete. They wanted to maintain their forfeit. The issue was the body of water that was being discussed was about 2 to 2.5 hours away away from them competing from their home. And it was going to be a long drive for them to come back to Indianapolis. Do I blame the Indianapolis Knights for not wanting to go? Absolutely not. But they forfeited. And that was the call that the Indianapolis Knights made at that time. That was the reason why KFL stood behind the forfeit, due to the bodies of water being unsafe. I did talk to Sam about it. I did talk to Chris about it. And trust me, we are definitely going to make changes, because we believe if the rivers are not safe as a whole, you have got to have a backup lake that is going to be fishable. And so that's what we've decided. We hope this is a one-off. We do not like the fact that a team drove all that way and it had to forfeit because they felt that it was unsafe. And so I honor it. And trust me, I have talked to Chris from West Virginia, and again, there was plans in place to discuss even a later start, and so everybody can reassess bodies of water due to travel constraints, due to time constraints for the Indianapolis Knights. That's the reason why I'm going to address this one time and one time only. This is the reason why I'm addressing it. Again, the home team has that call, and again, some of these guys were inexperienced on rivers. And so what I saw today, in terms of the river conditions on live TV, I don't know if that body of water was chosen as a backup, but apparently around that area was. But again, it was a longer drive for the Indianapolis Knights. They didn't feel that they could do that because of time constraints. Completely understandable. And it's just an unfortunate situation for both. And trust me, both these teams came to compete. West Virginia was very disappointed that they could not compete against the Indianapolis Knights. Indianapolis Knights was very disappointed they couldn't get on the water. But guys, safety's first, okay? Safety's first. And Sam, being the team captain, made that call. We stand behind it. And it's unfortunate, but you know what? They're on their way to Detroit, and hopefully they'll finish the season strong. But that's exactly what happened, and we stand behind that. So that's what happened. That's the exact story. So I'm sorry you guys are disappointed. We're disappointed as well. We really are, because we wanted to see that matchup and showcase with West Virginia and the beautiful waters that are there. We're going there next week. I mean, we're going to be fishing kind of around the same areas, the same waters, and I'm going to get a firsthand experience about what those waters are. So, but the issue, I mean, for me is I've been on rivers. I have that experience, and I feel comfortable, in situations on rivers that some kayakers don't. I mean, not everybody's a river fisherman. Not everybody is a lake fisherman. So, that's kayak fishing, guys. And so that's it in a nutshell. So anyway, that's why we are talking about it right now.
Greg, I appreciate that explanation. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Don't fire me, but this is what I'm going to say to everybody who's listening. He didn't have to do that. It was all on him. I mean, a decision was made for safety, and he said the decision was made for safety. So there is no explanation needed from the COO, CEO, whatever the acronym title is. There's no explanation needed. So if a decision was made by the guy who owns this, the guy who runs this for safety, it was made for safety. So, I mean, let's try not to nitpick everything. I'm not going to be a sensitive person and get into feelings and all this type of stuff. We appreciate the love. We appreciate everything. Dude, today was historical.
It was amazing.
That's what we need to look at. Today was historical. Regardless of you have people who want to talk negatively about it or positively about it. It was historical. It was something that was never been done. Never been done in kayak fishing. So whether you have the naysayers or the other side, doesn't matter. Never been done in kayak fishing.
Yep.
It was successful. It was
100%.
entertaining. We had 35,000 people watching. We've had nothing but positive feedback.
Correct.
So we'll take the negative feedback as well. You know why? Because all publicity is good publicity.
We're trying to improve too. I mean, look, man, this is again never been done. This has never been done. And there's a lot of things that happen, a lot of planning and a lot of logistics that are done. And we have to rely on a lot of different people. And
feedback is good, whether good or positive or negative.
For
Feedback
sure.
Yeah.
But listen, Robert, congratulations on a wonderful week 1, man. Let's continue this momentum and go into week 2. Let's do this strong, guys. Guys,
Thank
have
you.
a great night.
Yep.
Man, Robert, we'll see you next week, buddy. Let's do this,
Yes, sir.
man.
Thank you, everybody, for rocking with us, man.
Take
See you
care.
next time.
Bye.